Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Star Raptor and welcome back to the channel. This is my spoiler-free review for Star Wars Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade. But before we get started, I am so close to my 2,000 subscriber goal on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like this video. So getting into it, Delilah S. Dawson is no stranger to Star Wars. She has written Phasma, she has written Black Spire, she has written the ebook A Perfect Weapon. So she has experience with this franchise, and let me tell you, she writes one of the best Star Wars books I've read in years. I'm gonna throw down the gauntlet and say that right off the top. If you want to know right off the top, that's what I think about this book. This book is fantastic. So what makes it so good? What the heck is this book even about? So this book is about the rise and fall of a Jedi that becomes an Inquisitor. We have I would say a new character, but she has been established. Her character has appeared in the Darth Vader series from Charles Soule. This character's name is Iskat Akaris. Now, she is a unknown species. We find out what she is in this book, but I won't spoil it because that's part of the journey. But basically, we follow this character from right before the Clone Wars into the Battle of Geonosis, into the Clone Wars proper, into Order 66, and after. We see a transformation of a Jedi that goes to the dark side, and let me tell you, I absolutely loved it because what we see from this character is we see the psyche. This is such a deep dive into the character. I gotta give props for Delilah S. Dawson for making the perspective only focused on the character of Iskat. You do not get any other side character perspectives. It's all from her point of view. So that's really neat in this third person perspective, getting a Star Wars book where we don't float around between two different characters. The story is focused on her. And I think that really works well for a character where you're getting a deep dive. And what's neat about this character is she is sort of an outsider. You know, she's a species that people in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant are kind of looking, sneering at her. They're treating her like garbage because she has some abilities and she doesn't look like everybody else. She is the black sheep. So we get this story about how the Jedi appear to somebody that is always ostracized by them, even though she's part of their order. We get to see how dogmatic the Jedi are. I think this book really does a great job to show you why people would voluntarily just leave the Jedi Order. We see that in Clone Wars of Ahsoka. We get another great perspective of it here, and I think this is one of the best examples of why somebody would choose to use the dark side rather than the light side. And there's so many elements in this book that does that. What also thrives in this book are the characters. Even though this is a story that is taking place during major points of history in the Star Wars timeline, like the Battle of Geonosis, Order 66, we have so many new characters, whether it is the master of Akaris, who is a brand new character, whether it's her master's master, whether it is some of her cohorts that were in the Crochet, that were Padawans, all those characters. It feels unique. It's very much Star Wars because you're interacting with characters like Mace Windu and Yoda and different characters like that. But this story does a great job of carving itself out, creating that risk when you have all these characters that you don't know their fates of because they have been introduced in this book. So that really got me engaged a lot more than these other Star Wars books because it's like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen with Iskat. What is going on with Tualin, right? There's so many vibrant characters. I love what she does with writing characters that are not black and white. There's a lot of gray characters in here that add to a lot more realism for me as far as this story. I love just the lore that this story builds with just the Jedi and everything from just their different culture and their different ceremonies that we never heard about before, such as like the Jedi Tournament or the Jedi Trials. What happens if people fail out of the Jedi Trials? What happens to them then? They get different jobs at the Jedi Order. We learn about different species like Solonians, and it really just adds to the urgency and the importance of the Clone Wars. We get to see just the death toll of the Jedi constantly having to shuffle around their command force because more masters are dying, and you really feel it. You really feel like, oh my gosh, the Clone Wars is not all fun and games. There's a lot of death that is happening, and it adds to that realism. I love the introduction of the twists and the turns in this story. I think it does a great job of keeping you on your toes and the pacing at all times has just been fantastic. A lot of these chapters end where you just got to go right to the next page, just right to the next page. I love the Inquisitorius. You get to go and you get to explore the Inquisitorius. It reminded me of an evil version of Hogwarts. You get this school sort of where people are just, it's kill or be killed, and everybody's out for one another, which is a complete dichotomy of a juxtaposition of what is happening at the Jedi Council, even though Iskat really feels like the Jedi failed her for many reasons. I really couldn't find much I didn't like about this book, guys. I think this is one of these most exciting books I've read in Star Wars in a long time. This is one of the best ones out there. I gotta give it a 9 out of 10. What I think really is a strong point for this book is that any Star Wars fan can go out there and pick this book up. You don't need to have any kind of vast lore knowledge of this or that. This is a brand new character. Most of the characters in here are created just for this book, so it's easy to pick up. It's a quick read, and it just really shows you the power of the storytelling of Delilah S. Dawson, of able to weaving these characters through these storylines that we all know and love, and adding some more importance to like the Clone Wars, more importance to Order 66, seeing how characters are feeling from different areas of the galaxy. I absolutely love this book. I cannot recommend this book enough. Go ahead, pick up Inquisitor, go pick up Rise of the Red Blade. What did you think about this review? Do you think you'll be checking this book out? Let me know in the comment section down below. As I said right off the top of the video, I'm so close to my 2,000 subscriber goal. I would love it for you guys. If you like this channel, if you want to see more of this, it's very easy to stay on top with what I do here. It's simply subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and you'll be alerted when these videos go up. So that's gonna do it for me, Star. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at StarRaptor.